and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. So the first news story, now I don't know a whole lot about this, so you just have to cut me some slack with this, guys. It's about WWE possibly doing a collaboration with Cardi B. So I don't listen to that kind of music, so I'm not too familiar. Just obviously, I guess she's quite popular or whatever for whatever reason. And yeah, just personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this idea, but it is an idea being thrown around right now because she's said she's a big fan of wrestling and stuff like that, and they mentioned her on Raw, and it's just created like a Twitter storm. And it's a mess, but maybe for WrestleMania, I don't really know if there's a point in doing it since there's not going to be a crowd, but they did have that Rob Gronkowski football player guy do the host thing this past year, and there wasn't a crowd, but I believe that was announced before they announced there couldn't be a crowd because of the pandemic. So we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll bring in some new fans. I don't know if it's necessarily fans that WWE would want. I'm not too familiar. Maybe someone could let me know, but yeah, maybe Cardi B could be a guest host for WrestleMania or something. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Okay, the next news story. The next news story is about actually Mickie James. So Mickie James was a legend on this past week's Legend Night episode of Monday Night Raw. Which brings up the question: is Mickie James a legend? And I don't mean it in that sense. Obviously she's done wonderful things in her career, but it's not an argument. The argument here is she a legend, like a retired wrestler where she isn't going to be wrestling anymore? That's the question that's being brought up here. And the answer actually is no, she's not retired. There was a rumor that they retired her to make her a legend, and now she's not going to have really too many more matches, but apparently she got injured in last October. She's been out, and now she's cleared, so maybe, just maybe, we'll see Mickie James like return and maybe do something, a good wrestling feud or something. I mean, I would like that. I'd like to see Mickie James like in the title thing, like bringing some, I don't know, a new face to the title picture or something like that. I would love to see that, but we'll just have to wait and see what they decide to do. Okay, the next news story. Sasha Banks' streak is over. So it's about Sasha Banks. She's still the champion. Don't worry, she didn't lose the title like in some weird thing that wasn't on TV. Sasha Banks is still the SmackDown Women's Champion, but her winning streak has ended. Someone's keeping score of this. I don't think WWE is. Someone did though, and they figured out Sasha Banks has had a winning streak of 119 days, and it actually ended on New Year's Day episode of SmackDown as a tag team match. So I don't know if it necessarily counted, but it was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair teaming up to face the team of Carmella and Bayley. Carmella pinned Sasha Banks and made her streak in. I don't really think WWE realized there was a streak going on, or they would have done something with it. But yeah, Sasha Banks' 119-day winning streak is officially over. Okay, the next news story. The next news story is actually about Renee Young. So obviously Renee Young's been released by the WWE, which is not the biggest deal in the world to her because, you know, she's a journalist kind of thing. It's not like she has to be in a wrestling company. She can literally go work for any company in the world talking about anything. And I mean, obviously she's probably grown a liking to professional wrestling. She may end up in like another professional wrestling company. I mean, it could be anywhere. I know everyone wants to point at AEW, but we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, Renee Young is pregnant, so she's not really going to be working anywhere. But this one, Renee Young has actually revealed that WWE, when they first signed her, they made her go to a class to help her get rid of her Canadian accent. Now, if you watch Renee Young's work before the WWE, the Canadian accent is not really noticeable at all. But apparently someone inside WWE noticed a slight something, and they sent her to this school in New York City to basically help her get rid of the Canadian accent. So they had her read different words, and if she said something a little bit off, they would be like, no, you're saying it wrong. You gotta say it and they kind of did that once a week, I guess, for a while, and then until Renee Young's slight Canadian accent was completely gone. But yeah, I mean, they're just that picky about little stuff like that. But yeah, they actually did that for Renee Young apparently, and that's coming directly from Renee Young. Okay guys, so those are actually only confirmed things I'm talking to you guys about today, but don't you guys go anywhere, because things are about to get good. Things are about to get a little juicy. And ladies and gentlemen, let me use my catchphrase, which is on a t-shirt available on the Brandon Hodge merchandise store. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the news stories, and now we're going to talk about some juicy rumors. Okay, the first rumor is about Miss Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley is apparently supposed to be coming to the main roster, and I've been saying this, it feels like I've been saying this for years, but in actuality, it may have been close to a year I've been saying this, that Rhea Ripley, she's coming back to the main roster, not back to the main roster, she's debuting in the main roster, and then she ends up going back to NXT, and it's just like a flip-flop thing, but apparently this is a solid deal this time. We don't know which brand she's going to, we don't know if she's going to Raw or SmackDown, But apparently it's a solid deal this time. Rhea Ripley is showing up or on Raw or SmackDown and actually staying on Raw or SmackDown. She's not going back and flipping and all this other crap. She's staying on the main roster here pretty soon, hopefully sometime this month. Okay, the next rumor. So Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre is happening, guys. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know why Goldberg just gets all these title shots and then he ends up winning the title, which is like, what in the hell are you doing, WWE? It's just not believable. But anyway, so Goldberg cut a promo on Drew McIntyre, which felt like very off and like he doesn't watch the product and just assume that Drew McIntyre was a heel and a disrespectful, horrible person or something. And it didn't make a lot of sense at all, but apparently that promo was actually written. That wasn't coming from Goldberg. So what in the hell happened with like the disconnect there? Well, apparently the Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee match went on way too long, and actually before Goldberg was supposed to come out, Drew McIntyre was supposed to cut a promo. Now, I don't know what he was supposed to say in that promo, but that promo was supposed to lead into Goldberg's promo, which made Goldberg's promo make sense. But they didn't do that because they ran overtime, and then Goldberg cut this promo that he was supposed to cut, and then it didn't make sense. It's like, what in the hell are you doing? So why can't we just call something on the fly and just come up with something so it does make sense? But yeah, that's why it didn't make sense, so we'll just have to wait and see where they go from there. But so far, this feud is like literally like 5 minutes into the feud, and it's already a total cluster mess. Okay, the next rumor is about Carlito. So Carlito was a WWE wrestler for a while. Obviously, he's still a wrestler. He was supposed to be on Raw, right? Like everyone, at least I've seen, I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people who watch Raw, they're like, okay, where's Carlito? When's Carlito gonna come and spit the apple? Where's Carlito? Where's Carlito? Carlito never showed up on Monday Night Raw. We're like, what in the hell? And then we heard that he had travel issues. And I'm like, oh, he had travel issues. Well, maybe he'll show up at another Raw or something like that. And now it's came out, the rumor's now saying that Carlito was never supposed to be on the Raw Legends episode. WWE advertised them themselves, like they advertised it on their Instagram or whatever. But apparently that was a mistake. They were not supposed to advertise that because they were just working out a deal, and they were never able to actually work out a deal for it, so Carlito never showed up. And he was never booked or anything like that, so it was a total mistake even advertising the guy. So I'm just crossing my fingers. Maybe Carlito will return in the Royal Rumble. Maybe they can pull that off. But like Carlito, I think was probably the person I was the most excited to see because we haven't seen him in so long on WWE television. But who knows what they're going to do. Fingers crossed for Royal Rumble, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the final news story, the final thing I'll be talking about inside of this episode of WWE News and Rumors. So this one is about the Royal Rumble. So I don't know where to begin. I don't even know if WWE knows where they're going with this, and you know, they might change their mind a million times before we even know what it's going to be. But this is about the winner of the men's Royal Rumble match, and they're kind of going back and forth on this. They're still deciding the winner. So the winner they have planned now, it could not be the winner that they have planned tomorrow. It could change so fast. Apparently one of the names that was brought up to Vince McMahon himself was saying, hey Vince, maybe we should have him win the Rumble. His name was Keith Lee. Vince apparently rejected that idea, saying, No. He's just not ready yet. So Vince thinks Keith Lee's not ready yet. Whatever reason that may be, there's that, so it doesn't look like Keith Lee's winning the Rumble. One of the names that was brought up to Vince that he apparently was not completely against winning the Rumble was Big E. Now, personally, I think they should just go back to the Big E Langston character, but maybe they should just come up with something new instead of trying to reuse old stuff. Maybe that's better off. But one name that's brought up to Vince McMahon that he did not completely say, oh, no way, was actually Big E. So Big E may be the winner of Royal Rumble 2020, but we will just have to wait and see on that. So there you guys have it. That is going to do it for this episode of WWE News and Rumors. Right now on screen, I'm going to leave a link to 2 previous videos for you guys to check out, as well as a button to subscribe here if you're brand new. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you for watching this video. I am Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.